everyone. Welcome to the Daddy Issues podcast. I'm Kay, and I'm here with S and G.
Our goal each episode is to unpack various aspects of our lives. We are three sisters with different experiences, and we hope that through our conversations, trauma dumps, and DIY therapy, our listeners are able to learn from our experiences and apply it to their own lives.
And we are definitely completely amateur humans and far from perfect, so please take what we say lightly. We are definitely not claiming to be professionals. We're just trying to provide a fun and safe space for us to grow. Before we get into our topic of the week, I have a story for you guys. I think it will lend itself well to the topic we're going to talk about. It happened this morning, so it's fresh, and honestly, I'm hesitant to talk about it because I think I'm going to look bad in the story. I think I may be somewhat at fault for this
experience.
I don't even know what to call it. Maybe it was a disagreement that happened this morning. Okay, so let me start from the top. Little backstory before I get into it because I feel like I need to justify something. Yeah. So as you guys both know, I've been struggling with back pain. I feel like it's been for the last 2 years, and it just sucks. I feel like I'm in pain, I would say 85% of the time with my back. And then I've dealt with it in the past, just random joint pain, especially with my wrist and my hands, and you guys know, but just for the listeners, our dad has an autoimmune disease, lupus, so I think
we're quick to be fearful of what those things can mean.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So a few years back, this happened when I was in PA school. I was just feeling really sick, really tired, really achy. So I went to the doctor and they did a full autoimmune workup. One doctor told me I had lupus. Another one didn't. And when it comes to diagnosing lupus or autoimmune diseases, it can be really tricky.
It's brutal.
Yeah. So with our dad, it took a long time for him to get diagnosed. That's why it progressed to such a severe form of lupus for him. And he was actually diagnosed with something called mixed connective tissue disease before he was diagnosed with lupus. And ultimately, that's what I've been diagnosed with too, where your lab levels are just a little bit off and you just have a lot of non-specific symptoms, whether it's fatigue or joint pain, things like that. So I made a lot of changes to try to alleviate that, being gluten-free. Although I drink wine while we record, I don't drink alcohol too much and things like that.
No, you definitely, it's noticeable.
Yeah.
You make an effort.
And it's definitely helped a lot. But I would say recently, especially since starting my new job, haven't been as good about being gluten-free. Definitely been drinking a little bit more lately with the podcast recording, but basically I woke up this morning and my hands and my wrists were just in extreme pain, super achy. Plus my back has just been hurting. So I was just pain just puts you in a bad mood, especially when you're dealing with it all the time. So I just woke up super, super frustrated. And I always wake up before my boyfriend. And I will say that basically 99% of our arguments, disagreements happen in the morning because it takes him about 3 hours to boot up in the morning, and I am ready to go.
Right when you wake up. I remember that when I shared a room with you.
Yeah, so I'm ready to talk about things, and he's just not. So sometimes I get upset by his responses because I feel like I'm not getting much from him or he's not actually listening.
But you're also getting him at 10% or whatever it is at that point.
Exactly. It's hard to think about that.
Yeah.
In the moment.
No, totally.
But so I was already in a bad mood this morning because I woke up kind of feeling just like crap, honestly. And he woke up. I was up a couple hours before him, and I told him, I was like, dude, my hands and my wrists are in so much pain. And I was like, well, first I was like, my hands and my wrists are in so much pain right now. And he's like, oh, your wrists hurt? I'm like, yes, that's what I just said. Thank you for repeating it back to me. And I was like, I didn't say that out loud. I thought it in my head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought that. Yeah, okay, I'm not that crazy. I didn't say that part out loud. I did think it in my head.
Way to own it, because you didn't have to own that part.
Yes, thank you. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if it's because I haven't been as good about being gluten-free or I've been drinking more, but it just really hurts right now. And nothing in response. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm making the bed, getting ready to go to Pilates because I'm still going to go. And then I'm downstairs and he comes down the stairs. He's like, are you excited for Pilates today? And I was like, no, I'm not excited because I'm literally in pain right now. Like, it hurts.
Yes.
And no, I'm not really looking forward to it, but I'm going to go. And I just was like overwhelmed by just like, I was just so angry. Like, it was irrational.
Yeah.
It truly was irrational, but like, I could not help it. And I was like, I'm just going to go. I'm going to leave. It was earlier than I needed to leave for Pilates, but I was like, I'm just going to go because I'm just so frustrated right now. I just felt like I wasn't heard at all. Like, I told you that I'm in pain, and then you're like, come downstairs, like, you excited to go do this workout? I'm like, no, I'm not.
Oh, today wasn't the day he was going with you?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the day that he was going with you.
No, he was just like asking me that, and I was like, I'm not necessarily super excited. And I just felt unheard in that moment. And then I realized my reaction was maybe a little bit extreme. So then I texted him when I was at Pilates, and I was like, I'm sorry. I'm just really frustrated. I'm in pain. I'm super uncomfortable. And like, I just felt like you didn't really hear me when I told you that this morning by like you saying, are you excited to go? And he just texted me back. He was like, I'm sorry that you're in pain, and I'm sorry you felt unheard. And I was like, okay. I mean,
at least he took ownership.
Yes. Yeah. He apologized, and then he wasn't home when I got back, and I was like upstairs prepping for today and stuff. And like, I don't know, he didn't come up and like say anything to me, talk to me. And it just like my anger just kept
snowballing.
Building.
Yeah.
And I went back downstairs right before we were about to leave for coming here to podcast. And see, the reason why I didn't want to tell this story is because he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
He really didn't do anything wrong. But for some reason, I was just so angry that I just felt like
it's okay.
He didn't care for some reason. And I didn't want to talk about this because also I've been really just emotional lately in general. And I think I was like going back and forth, and I felt like frustrated with myself for how angry I was. Like, because it just, my logical brain, I was like, there's literally no reason for you to be this mad. But like, even though I was thinking about that logically, like it was not making the anger and the frustration go away that I was feeling, because like, I know that he cares. And like, the reason why he was gone when I got back is because he was literally out grocery shopping for us. And I knew that he was coming here later to watch your son so that we could podcast. He like does so much, but I just still I thought about that all so logically, but I still was just so angry and felt like he didn't care, even though like I can logically think and know that he does. But in that moment, it just like my emotional brain and my logical brain, like and this happens to me a lot. Like they just cannot communicate with each other. So like, I feel like I'm just like battling like two different people like in my brain.
But you're also like almost shaming the parts of you, like your emotional side is shaming your logical side, while your logical side is like shaming your emotional side. Like, how dare you not understand from this point of view that he's doing, he's not doing anything wrong, and you're almost shaming those emotions.
Yeah.
But
I feel like not justified in having those emotions because of truly how much he does for me. And me and Kay were talking about on the way here, there's a difference between like what he was doing in terms of grocery shopping and being here to help us so we can record versus like that emotional.
Yeah, there's a certain emotional intelligence. Like
I felt like I just needed in that moment. But what's not fair is I don't know if I can even put into words like what I wanted or needed in that moment. So once again, I feel like it's not fair for me to be so upset, because if he were to ask me like, well, what would you have wanted me to do in that moment? Like, I don't even know if I would have had an answer for him. I'm just like, I needed something else
than what you're doing.
Yeah, sorry. What were you going to say?
Well, to go off of what Gloria was saying, like, I think it's good that you still feel those emotions. Like, not all emotions are going to be something that you can explain. Sometimes you just feel things, and that's okay.
That's totally
and
true.
Maybe you didn't, express that emotion in the best possible way.
Did you hear how I expressed it?
Yeah. In the best possible
It's not the best
way. But that doesn't mean you should just ignore and be like, oh, I shouldn't feel it.
Yeah.
Feel it anyway, but practice maybe other ways to communicate it.
Yeah, I think another part is like, mostly I think I'm frustrated with myself with how I communicated my frustration.
That's where I think I was trying to say, like, the shaming of it. I guess you weren't necessarily shaming the actual emotion. You were, like, shaming how you were going about communicating the emotion. But I think it compiled onto itself of, like, then you were embarrassed, and so the lashing out grew.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, because when you're in kind of a defensive place, you behave differently than if you're kind of not feeling threatened. And you were threatening yourself, basically, by being like, well, this is silly. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, and I think truly right now, is what I'm most frustrated with is how I responded, because, I mean, Kay got to hear it, but I went down and I was like, well, it would be nice if you could actually, like, pretend like you actually cared that I'm just not feeling great today. Oh. And then it just
I've been
spiraled.
there.
And also, you were also in physical pain.
Yes.
Like, physical
it makes
pain.
A huge difference.
Yeah, it really does, like, control how you react to certain things.
I feel like it makes I'm already just, like, at a higher level of just, I'm quicker to react. I'm already, like, frustrated with my body that if any other little thing is not going how I'd like it to, I'm just, like,
well, that's the last straw.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I mean, this is something that my husband and I struggle with, all the time, because he's kind of the same way where he's like, well, I did all of these actionable items that show you that I'm here for you, that I'm taking care of you, and that I love you. And I'm like, that's all great, but I, like, need you to be emotionally present with me. Mm-hmm. And it's very hard to explain what I mean by that. And I know what you mean.
I think that boils down to different types of love languages.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
Like, that is, like, acts of service, both of what you were talking about with both of your partners. Mm-hmm. And then there's also, like, words of affirmation, quality time. Like, those things, I think, feed into more of what you were asking for in those moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know, like I said, I don't even know what I wanted in that moment, but just brainstorming here, it's, I don't know, just... Is there anything? But he was doing stuff for me. Like, he was doing stuff to help lighten my load, which was probably his way of trying to help me.
I think even just acknowledgement sometimes, being like,
that fucking sucks.
Yeah, like, wow, I'm so sorry that your day is going to be harder today because you are in more pain today than you were in yesterday.
Yeah.
And I don't want that for you.
Just acknowledging acknowledgement, I think, is what it boils down to. But... yeah, I wasn't, like, super proud of the way I reacted, and I think, like I said, it lends itself well to what we're going to talk about today, which is our attachment styles, which I think it will all make sense once we talk about the attachment styles. But I think how we kind of want to go about this today is... first go through, like, what the 4 different attachment styles are. I think it'll be fun to try to guess each other's and see if we're wrong or right. And just for the listeners, we all took a attachment style quiz.
Got read for filth by the internet.
So
by a free internet service.
Yeah. So we'll go through, like, the report we got from that and talk about, like, whether we agree or disagree with some of the characteristics that are associated with each of our attachment styles. But do you want me to just read off the 4 different to begin with?
Yeah.
Okay. So there are 4 different attachment styles. The first one is secure attachment for all the healthy people out there. So people with secure attachment styles are comfortable both giving and receiving love. They trust others will be there for them and don't fear being abandoned or smothered. They can communicate their needs clearly, set boundaries, and handle conflict in a healthy way.
We don't know her.
They often come from having caregivers who were reliable, emotionally available, and responsive, which helps them feel safe exploring the world and forming close relationships. So that's secure attachment. Next is an anxious attachment. Those with anxious attachment styles deeply value closeness, but often fear others don't feel the same way. They might seek constant reassurance, overanalyze small things, or worry their partner will leave or lose interest. This can come across as clingy or overly sensitive, but it's really rooted in fear of abandonment. It often develops when caregivers were inconsistent, sometimes loving and attentive and other times distant, creating uncertainty about when love and comfort would be available. So, as you can see of my sisters' reactions, I think they already have their guess for me. Avoidant attachment. Avoidant individuals value independence and may feel uncomfortable depending on others or letting others depend on them. They tend to keep their emotions private, appear self-sufficient, and may pull away when relationships start to feel too intimate or vulnerable. This style usually forms when caregivers are emotionally unavailable, dismissive, or expected the child to be self-reliant too early, teaching them that closeness isn't safe or reliable.
Not the side eye. So rude.
Did you give her the side eye too? Okay.
We know it.
Okay, last one is disorganized. So it's fearful avoidant attachment. Disorganized attachment is a mix of both anxious and avoidant tendencies. People with this style often crave connection, but also fear it. They might pull someone close, then push them away when things get too intense. This back and forth often stems from early experiences of fear, trauma, or abuse when the person they needed for comfort was also a source of fear. As adults, this can show up as confusion around intimacy, wanting love, but not fully trusting it.
Don't be mean.
Okay, so, I think we obviously all have our guesses, but okay. G, you go first. Say which one you think we
first
are.
of all, none of us are secure attachment.
Yeah, well, that's obvious.
All right. So
Our podcast is called Daddy Issues.
So,
I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb here and say you're anxious and you're avoidant.
okay, that is, okay, that's my guess for Kay, too. I think she's avoidant.
Oh, yeah, I should have said names. Sorry, listeners.
But I had a harder time with you, but I do think you're more of the disorganized.
Yes, and I do think that the quiz called it something else.
Okay.
But I think that is what they meant.
Okay.
And we'll talk
about it.
Yeah.
And what do you think?
Okay, so yeah, you're the anxious attachment for S.
Yeah.
And then again, yeah, I agree with you for G, it's disorganized or the fearful avoidant.
Yeah. Okay. So we are all on
It's
the
crazy
same
that
page
we
here.
each got each of the dysfunctional ones.
Well, we don't know that for sure. We didn't
Oh, I'm just assuming.
confirm.
Yeah, so spot on.
It's funny because Kay was saying how much she disagreed with her, so I'm super interested to
I
talk
was
about that.
reading. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. We've discussed this in the past, where like you will plan things, and I'll kind of just show up. I didn't read all that you typed out because I knew you were gonna read it. I read the characteristic bullet points that we're gonna review, and I disagreed with the individual bullet points of the characteristics of
the actual quiz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, because
But
I think they're slightly different.
Yeah, like the
But
description
this is super accurate.
was spot on.
Okay.
And I will also say, I took two because we had two links in our like planning document, and I did the one that was like $1.99, and I paid for it.
Oh, okay.
And I got
Paid to get
because I was the only one I could
roasted.
see. Yeah. Well, no, I didn't get roasted because I got the secure one.
Oh.
On that one.
Oh, so
I don't
that's
like that
because you
reaction.
paid for it. They were like, "We'll give you a."
That's so fucked up and probably
So that's
true.
the one you agreed with?
You're like,
No,
yeah.
I also, you came in and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. I actually disagreed with the secure
Okay.
one. I'm self-aware. I know my flaws. Okay.
That's fair. Okay.
But the description I agree with. The bullet points we're going to talk about in a second.
don't.
There's one that maybe I agree with.
Okay. Should we go oldest to youngest or youngest to oldest? Either way, I'm in the middle, so.
Yeah. You're like works for me.
Okay. So were we right about your attachment style, first of all? Well,
Yes, I do believe so. Let me pull it up. So sorry.
and I think also like talking about maybe what you think, like what big experiences you think maybe,
Yes.
because all of these attachment styles come from, childhood and experiences that we've had. So what ones come to mind for you in terms of what
100%.
developed your attachment style?
Okay, so my official from the quiz is the anxious preoccupied. Is what they called it.
I think that's the same thing as the
same
fearful
thing
avoidant.
as the fearful. Because it's the mixture of anxious and
It's a different one. those are two different ones.
Yeah, I don't know if there's only 4. Like I said, we are not professionals.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are exactly 4 different attachment styles, but that sounds
what was it called? It was called the
fearful avoidant.
Yeah, fearful
and so
avoidant.
yours is called
anxious preoccupied.
I
so
think
that's
so weird.
That's what this website called it, but I think that's what they mean.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go through some of the characteristics, and then I'll break down kind of what for me the points in life that I feel like kind of made that happen. And okay, so for the anxious preoccupied attachment style, these are some of the characteristics. You may feel as though you're less than others. The low sense of self-esteem associated with the anxious attachment style often results in feelings of not being good enough. Let's get into it. Okay. You self-sacrifice and put the needs of others first. This is often due to a lack of sense of self and your own needs. So mean. Due to an inconsistent formative period, you may feel as though you're unworthy of love. Thus, you seek external validation and reassurance from others in an attempt to prove yourself that you deserve love. You struggle with being alone for periods of time. Relationships and intimacy are strongly connected with an anxious attacher's feelings of self-worth. Therefore, you may crave attention and try to impress others. It kind of goes on like that. Attentive to loved ones, almost to a fault. That's a big one. Fear of rejection and criticism. That's a big one that I want to get into. And might come off clingy. Okay, so
so do you agree with those?
I do quite.
That's why it hurts. It feels like a dagger to your heart because when it's true, you're like,
yes, it's like I felt read,
personally attacked.
Yes. So I definitely don't deal with criticism well. That's a big one for me. My partner and I, we've been together for a long time, and we don't
10 years. 11?
We're going on 12.
12.
Oh my God.
We're going on 12 in March. And we don't mince words. We are at this point, we're pretty straightforward when, hey, you're slacking a bit, or like you're not pulling your weight, or you seem off, or whatever it may be. We hold each other accountable. You know, I think especially in earlier marriages, it's like everything's sunshine and rainbows, yada, yada. But no, you have to hold your partner accountable. And I have such a hard time when he tries to do that, but I love giving it out. Yeah. But, and I think I talked about it a little bit last week, but I take it really, really hard, but I also take it to heart, and I do make those changes. Like, I take it personal, I address it, and I try to deliver. But in the moment, my feelings are always hurt.
Can you think of any specific situations that's come up?
Yeah, I think I talked about it with the whole like cooking thing, and I make a mess everywhere. He called me out on that, and I think too, my partner has a hard time because he knows that I am going to have my feelings hurt. He tends to try not to say anything. And then when he finally does say something, it's a bunch of things. Mm-hmm. And a bunch of things is so much worse than just one thing.
Is it though? Like, I feel I'm the same way as he is, where I hold it all in.
It's worse.
But do you want to get it? Like all constantly? The time, constantly. That almost feels worse, but...
That's how I feel like he feels about me.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like I need like a safe word almost. Like, hey, my love for you does not change with what I'm about to say to you.
Because you're anxiously attached. Like, that's literally because you're anxiously attached. Like, you need to know that just because they're seeing a fault in you, they still love you. You don't see less of me. Yeah. You
don't see less of me because I'm a perfectionist. I am so self-critical. Whatever you have to say, I'm already beating myself up for.
Yeah.
And that's why I get defensive, because I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that you saw that part of me that I was already beating myself up for. How dare you call me on it?
Probably kind of trying to hide /
or like maybe my denial phase, like I'm working my way to acceptance here to be able to fix that thing. And you called me out in my process of like working through that thing. Like, I get embarrassed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm literally so embarrassed. Like, how dare you acknowledge that I'm not perfect? How dare you tell me I'm not perfect? And then I'm like, all right, but like, I have to be perfect though, so let me fix it.
Mm-hmm. Because I think growing up, you probably felt that you needed to be perfect in order to receive the love or the attention that
I think I got called lazy one time and it defined my entire
that one really
core
stuck with
identity.
me. I remember.
Like that was in like high school.
I think it happened more like middle school, maybe 6th grade.
I was gonna say 6th grade.
Wild to call sixth grader lazy.
Yeah. And I still to this day have not recovered from that. My whole
words matter, people.
I will say, it's crazy to call a 6th grader crazy. I've heard other teachers, not to the student's face, but to other teachers, call them lazy. I'm like, they're not lazy. They're just unmotivated.
Yeah.
And it's hard as teachers or as parents to motivate your kids.
And like, I saw something recently where they were like, oh, we expect kids to hop up and do something right away because we told them to. As an adult, I procrastinate. Mm-hmm. I have to watch my little stories, tuck myself in, take a little resty poo before I go and do whatever thing I'm supposed to do. I still might not do it.
I have to make to-do lists and then little rewards for when I do my little thing.
And I still might not do it.
Yeah.
So why the heck should I turn to a child and be like, well, I just told you to do it, so do it.
Yeah.
That's such a weird expectation. And then to define them as lazy because they didn't do it on your timeline. Yeah. And then they destroys their entire identity as a human. Okay. Anyways, we gotta truck on because I got a lot to unpack here. Okay,
so the criticism is hard for you.
Yes, criticism is hard for me. I have such a deep desire to please people that being criticized, like, it shuts me down. Mm-hmm. The other one was the overanalyzing of my partner.
I mean, case in point, like what I've just, my whole the story I said at the beginning.
I mean, I think he feels as if and he's listening right now and he's probably smirking and I know exactly the face he's making and it's pissing me off. But he probably feels like he's under a microscope. But if you're listening, I hope you know that I put myself under that microscope too.
Do you think like he's underneath that microscope because sometimes people view like their partner as a reflection of themselves?
I think it's more like I'm so scared that he is judging me that I am like
counterattack.
I'm like so interpreting every move he makes to know, like, are you upset at me? Did I do something wrong? Am I not perfect? Is that the thing? I bet I messed up. Do you hate me? I bet you're mad because I left the garlic out again when I was cooking. You're mad. Oh, you're mad. No, I'm not mad. Oh, you're mad. Oh, you're not mad? Okay. And then finally he's like, hey, you've been a mess while cooking. And I'm like,
I knew it.
I freaking knew it. Now I'm defensive. Now I'm pissed.
So a lot of the things you've said are the anxious attachment because it sounds very similar to what the results I got were. Mm-hmm. But was there anything specifically with the avoidant or the preoccupied component?
Yes, I want to read again the definition that you said because there was something. Oh, the confusion and intimacy. Mm-hmm. That in that description really stuck with me because I feel like I am constantly conflicted with intimacy. I got so hypersexualized at a young age.
Because you had big boobs.
Big boobs, man.
And I remember as a kid, like, knowing about your sex life, like when you lost your...
It was an open freaking book.
Yeah.
And not just that, I have a certain expression. My eyes are big. My lips are big. I remember a guy saying I had DSLs, and I was like, I don't even know what that means.
That happened to me before, too, and I was like, what the fuck is that?
What is that? I don't know what...
Oh, it's the angel baby.
Do you want to say it?
I don't know if I want to know.
Dick sucking lips.
Oh, fuck that dude.
Yeah.
And that other dude.
That's a kid I knew since,
happened to both
preschool.
Of us. Yeah.
Anyways. But...
I hate people.
Yeah, but like I'm a dancer, I'm a performer, I make eye contact. People think that that's a direct link into me as a person, into having like contact with that part of me. I don't know. Even like being in theater, people would come, the comments that they would make to me afterwards were freaking scary.
My best friend from childhood has mentioned to me before, because you have been in pole dancing and you posted that kind of stuff on the internet, and she has said like she just thinks that you're like the hottest person ever because of like the confidence you have and the way that you can look straight into a camera with confidence and things like that. So I think your demeanor.
Yes, it's always good, and that's how I would be in theater. I would find someone, make eye contact. They would like unpack their whole identities. They'd be like, what the heck does that mean? And I had that ability, but then what ends up happening is then they like over sexualized me. I was still a kid, or I'm an adult now. I don't think it's a coincidence that I found something like pole to kind of have that outlet where it's like, okay, well, people can sexualize me here. I give them permission to do that. Like I take control of that. But like even in my relationship, you know, if he's trying to initiate something, I'm like, oh, well, that's all you want from me because that's what anybody wants from me.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's where I have a really hard time. I don't feel like I get to just like enjoy myself in intimacy because I'm always questioning, like, what are you trying to get from me? Sometimes, like, I can't even have a conversation with people. Sometimes I feel like I'm being sexualized. It's so hard, like random strangers or in an interview, or it comes up all the time. Teachers, professors at school.
What? Like, is there anything specific that you can think of? Are there certain...
I'm sure I'm overanalyzing it is part of it, but I feel constantly like I'm on defense of that. Like, I don't want somebody to misinterpret my eye contact, my demeanor, because I do have that demeanor.
Yeah.
That I don't want them to get the wrong idea. I don't want that to be all that I have of value.
Yeah.
And so then I take that home, and it's not fair to him.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like, oh, okay, well, I have big boobs, and I have that, whatever it is. I don't know.
It's the confidence
people.
Yeah.
I know, but I don't feel all that confident.
You exude.
But when I dance, when I'm moving, I am confident.
Yeah. We recently took a dance class together, and she was the most confident person in that room.
There's something about dancing. I just become a different, and that's why I have a whole alter ego with pole. Like, I'm not even myself when I do that. Like, I would actually, like, talking about it makes me blush and makes me bashful. But, like, when I'm doing it, it's not me. That's a whole other person. But, yeah, when I'm on stage and I'm dancing, that's the thing. But, yeah, that was the thing about the Avoidant, I think, that really stuck out to me.
So it was the, as adults...
when the person needed they needed for comfort was also a source of fear.
Oh, they might pull someone close, then push them away when things get too intense.
Yes.
This back and forth stems from early experiences of fear, trauma, or abuse. When the person they needed for comfort was also a source of fear.
Wanting love, but not fully trusting it. That.
Okay.
Wanting love, but not fully trusting it. I, like, literally, I want to just be embraced and loved, but then I'm like, well, what are your intentions?
You don't trust. Yeah, okay. You don't
Why?
trust it, literally what you just said.
What do you actually want from me?
So what do you think? Like, can you think of anything in particular growing up? Because specifically that statement of this stems from the person that they needed for comfort was also a source of fear. Does that hit home for you at all? Or are there any specific experiences that you can think of where you're like, wow, yeah, that probably really did shape my attachment style?
I mean, I was definitely afraid of Dad.
Yeah. But did you look at him as a source of comfort ever? That you can remember?
No, but I always wanted to be accepted by him. Mm-hmm. I never felt accepted by him. And it's so weird because I actually weirdly think he does, like, in some twisted backwards way, love me in a way that he didn't really have to because he's not my birth father. I don't know. There's so much complexity there because he probably feels that too, like resentment from his side. Like, I didn't have to take you on and whatever. But I think more of it comes from Mom for me because I was afraid that, like, her inability to save us was, like, to step up and, like, intervene. I felt like I watched her be in fear so much that it just kind of made the whole situation untrustworthy for me.
Mm-hmm. And we can cut this if you want, but just for details, I feel like because we all know what we're talking about, but our listeners may not. Our dad was very verbally abusive and at times physically.
Yep.
And, that wasn't only put on us, but also our mom as well. And as a child, you look to your parents to protect you. Our dad already wasn't. And then, so you're looking to the next person like, hey, mom.
Yeah.
But also she was in fear, like you said, as well.
She was in her own fear. And I think as a young child, I could not process that. It was just, why are we still in this?
Mm-hmm.
And it never really clicked for me. And yeah, I don't know. I think that my mom is one of the strongest people I know.
Oh, yeah,
so it's
absolutely.
so weird because
I don't even know if I could handle that situation that she was in.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I just felt generally unsafe. I don't know. And I think I didn't feel a ton of trauma or abuse from like the rest of our family. Those are strong words for that. But I just felt always kind of on the outs. And I also just felt like the abuse was there. And how did people not, like, why wasn't it louder? It was so obvious.
It was so pushed under the rug.
Yeah.
Even after our parents got divorced. This is something that I think about a lot. When our parents got divorced, what was told to us is the reason for the divorce was dad's infidelity.
Right.
The reason for the divorce was never the fact that he was emotionally and physically abusive. So that was just kind of ignored and pushed under the rug.
And minimized.
And I think for a long time made me actually question, was that real or was it not? And what really made me question it even further was when our mom and our dad got back together, years later. And I'm just like, wait.
And it was under our influence, our.Want. And so then that messed us up even more.
Yeah. And I was like, wait, so was he a bad, because I look to mom as kind of, the North Star, like she
knows what's right.
If she's taking this man back, then maybe everything that happened actually wasn't abuse. And it made me like question it for such a long time.
I was so young when that happened. I did not know he was that abusive until 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we didn't really tell you.
No. And like that shows how much it was minimalized, that I didn't know such a big part of our family history and our story. And it came out when we were trying to record an episode. And then
emotions got the best of us there.
Yeah, it was the biggest argument I think that we had ever gotten in as adults.
Especially the
three of us. Mm-hmm. Just for the listeners, just arguing about our relationship with dad and how different each of our relationships are. And then that was dropped in a very heated, drunk moment, which was a lot to process.
Yeah.
But it did help me understand both of you guys a lot more, I think.
Yeah. And
understand mom a lot more, too. But I didn't know that part of our story when I was a high schooler.
You didn't know it consciously, but it's in your subconscious. Like you were absorbing everything from the start, and you didn't know. Maybe you don't have formed memories of it, but it's still in you. You were around for it, and
I do remember, like in our bedroom, like listening for the footsteps and like being able to tell between moms and dads and being more relieved when it was moms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That I do remember.
Yeah.
I would go sit in your room, Kay, when you were a baby, and I would just sit by your crib all night.
Yeah. Yeah. But that got a little bit.
So, yeah, and then before dad for me, because dad is all you guys have, but I was rejected by my actual birth father too. And I just think I've always felt kind of the other person. I've always tried really hard to fit in, even to my own family. And I think at the surface, we are very clearly sisters. A lot of things are similar, but there are things that I feel so different from you guys on. And I feel like I'm always having to try so hard to fit in to my whole family, to you guys, to all my extended family, everyone. I know I'm going to cry too.
I didn't know for a good chunk of my life that you were a half sister.
I forget sometimes still. Like, I just, like, don't even think about it.
I don't think about it at all.
It's not for you because your experience is so different, but I don't even think of that as a fact at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
Famous.
I think that sentence, like, the person that they needed for comfort was also a source of fear. Like, I think sounds more for you. Like, it's like the person that you needed for comfort was just, like, unreliable.
Always, like, right out of grasp. Like,
Yeah.
I just, like, needed it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I am that person for so many people. And I love being that person for so many people. But I still, as an adult, don't fully have a footing on, like, who to go to.
Yeah. And I think, obviously, like, being the oldest sibling. But I also wanted to say, when you were saying how you feel like you have your differences and stuff, like, I think maybe the differences that you feel you have are things that I look at you and, like, I wish
you guys
I
celebrate
had.
them. I know you guys do.
So
It's so hard to feel it. But I know you guys do, and I love you guys for it.
Ugh.
Anyway, so now we all cried, so now you can feel normal.
Thank you for crying with me.
You're welcome. Anyways, let's move on. That was a long time on me.
Okay.
Okay, so we expect you to be anxious.
Yes, very obvious from the story I just told and just me as a person. A lot of the points you said earlier are, the points that are also in my report or whatever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the first one is what you said. You may feel less than others, or a low sense of self-esteem associated with anxious attachment style often results in feelings of not being good enough. And I wanted to talk about this one because this is something that I've actually talked about quite a lot in therapy, because my therapist is like, do you feel like you have good self-esteem? I think it was a leading question because I don't think she thinks I do have good self-esteem. But that question was, like, super hard for me to answer because I don't feel like I have low self-esteem. I would almost call it more so like a fragile self-esteem. Mm-hmm. I feel really confident when I'm doing all of the things that I think I should be doing. So if I have a good day at work and I feel like I was able to figure out something or was able to solve a problem, if I am eating healthy and working out and doing all these things, it's almost like a sense of, like, I have stellar confidence. I'm like, I'm the fucking shit, you know? And then, but if I'm not doing all of those things, or I have a bad day, or I make literally the smallest mistake, I'm like, I'm an idiot, I'm stupid, I suck. So it's just, it feels exhausting because I feel in order to have self-esteem, I need to be constantly performing, achieving, doing, and it's just so tiring.
It's like you're walking on eggshells with yourself.
With myself. Yeah, exactly. And so I feel like I have to do all of those things. Otherwise, I do become that person who feels like I need that constant reassurance from others in order to feel good about myself. And I hate that. And I don't want to rely on others. So I feel like I need to do all of these things in order.
It's not sustainable.
Yeah. And, like, is that having self-esteem, or is that, like, what is self-esteem? Is it just innately always, no one always feels good about themselves. I feel like self-esteem is something that you do need to build and does need to come from doing things. I don't think that you should just feel great about yourself if you're like not being a good version of yourself. Yeah. But I think I tipped the scale on the other end where one little thing, I'm just completely feel like crap until I feel like I've reproven to myself, like, my worth. So that one's hard for me because I don't feel bad about myself all the time. I don't think everyone does, but I do think my self-esteem is, like, super fragile. And when I'm not on top of everything, I do then feel that I rely on others to kind of give me that sense of reassurance, especially in like my romantic relationship with my boyfriend. So
I almost think like you've assigned all of your self-esteem values to like actionable items.
Like almost like a point system.
Yeah. And you almost need to find a thing that's like just by default that you can also associate with that. So that way, like on the times that those actionable items slip back, it's like, oh, but I'm still, something that just is unwavering.
I also think that having a good self-esteem is like when you mess up, you still are like confident in yourself.
And that's what I lack. So I don't think I have good self-esteem.
When you make a mistake.
Yeah, it's all very achievement-based, performance-based.
Yeah, that's what it feels very performance-based.
So I probably don't have good self-esteem.
But I also relate very much to what you're saying. Because if I'm having a time, baddie alert.
Yeah.
Like, y'all better watch out because, like, everyone's going to be feeling less self-esteem because my esteem is
that's why
filling the room.
It really it's like extremes, and it feels a little bit like to some extent bipolar, but
yeah, like yo-yoing almost. It's whiplash.
But I think a part of that is, and it's one of the other bullet points here. Hold on, let me find it. Okay, so this next one is, you self-sacrifice and put the needs of others first. This is often due to a lack of sense of self and your own needs. And this one I really related to is that lack of sense of self. And I've talked about this with my therapist, and I think that's why I don't have that strong foundation of self-esteem, is because I feel like I don't know who I am because I have been in this performative mode for so long. I have felt for my whole life that I needed to do or achieve in order to get the attention that my child brain interpreted as love. Mm-hmm. So I've constantly just been doing what I think other people want or need from me, that like sometimes I'm like, I don't even know who I am. And I think not having that solid foundation of like literally just my interests, or sometimes even like my own opinions, it just creates a really shaky foundation of self-esteem. And I think it's just because I've been literally performing like my whole life. And I can think of an example, but do you want to say something first?
I want to say two things about that, because it's almost giving hamster wheel about the needing to do for others. It's like your self-esteem comes from these actionable items. So you're like, I need to do for others, so I have self-esteem, but then I have no
like internal self?
Like knowing oneself. What was
it? Was lack of sense of self.
Sense of self, yeah, sense of self. But I have to do things to be able to feel the self-esteem. It's like a bit of a.
I feel like my sense of self is literally just doing for others.
Yeah, but then it's impossible for you to like actually identify who you are without anybody else.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to say though is that I do think, just like I like to poke fun at Kay for coming to her quarter life crisis, I do think you are approaching your 30s here, and this is the things that we unpack to get to the comfort of the 30s.
I know, I'm hoping.
It's okay. You're unpacking it to find yourself, because once you do, you'll be able to be comfortable. It's very nice over on this side.
It's this is like literally such a stupid small example. Well, I have one. Okay, let me going back to childhood. I remember so distinctly after our parents got divorced, when we would go for our weekends with Dad, we would mostly go over to Grandma's because of some custody issues or whatever. Yep. And Dad was obsessed with his car and cleaning his car. And even Grandma has said this to me before. Like, we would go over there and G and K would get their bowls of cereal and watch cartoons and stuff. Popcorn. And I was like, popcorn. And I was outside with my dad with a toothbrush to the freaking wheels of his truck cleaning it, because I knew that doing that with him or for him was going to get me the approval and attention that I've then, like I said, interpreted as love at that point. So that's just like one example that sticks out in my brain so much.
That sticks out for me. I remember I go out, you'd be out there sweating. We're literally vibing, watching Chopped.
Yeah. So we went on one.
Yeah.
I remember I went out one day And I immediately went back inside.
Yeah, like I would come out and check on you guys and I'd be like, ew.
No. I didn't want to be doing that.
It was the same with his yard work.
Yeah.
You know, like he would always be out there and you would go out there and I'd be like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Especially in this heat.
Yeah.
But one like also silly, stupid example that literally happened yesterday because me and my boyfriend are trying to get into puzzles. And so we went to Half Price Books to get a puzzle and we both found one we liked. And I was like, I mean, they were literally $8 puzzles. We should have just gotten both of them.
Why didn't you get them both?
I don't know. But I'm like, I like this one. He's like, well, I like this one. And it was just like this awkward thing. I'm just like, okay. Well, and I just was like, we can just do yours. Like, that's just the theme in my life. It's like, I'm just going to do what other people want to do because if I don't, they're probably not going to love me anymore.
Wait, so is that puzzle at our house right now?
It's the one that you guys were working on last night.
Yeah, he lied to me and said that you picked it.
Oh,
but from his point of view, though, it might have felt like that because you did offer it.
No, he was 100% messing with her.
He was messing with her and he knew. He's like, are you sure? And I was, because at that point, I'm just like, I don't care enough about the puzzle. So sure, whatever. But it's that with everything, with what we're going to eat, with what we're going to watch. And since I'm constantly doing that, like I'm not even finding out what I like because I'm just doing what everyone else likes to do because I'm afraid of rocking the boat too much. Or if I say something or
you almost sound a little borderline anxious avoidant as well.
You think?
Yeah, that seems avoidant. Like you are avoiding the confrontation of what your own
that's true.
Opinions and like taste would be.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think
but the anxiety is the reason.
The anxiety
you're not confronting those things.
It could be two things.
Yeah.
There was another one. The struggle, you struggle with being single or alone for periods of time. Relationships and intimacy are strongly connected with the anxious attacher's feelings and self-worth. Therefore, you may crave attention and try to impress others in attempts to get it. But it was that first sentence that I was like, you struggle with being single or alone for periods of time. But I don't know if I fully agree with that. I feel like you guys may argue that. But sometimes I feel better being alone because I'm like, I don't have to worry about what I need to do for others to make them happy. I just want to be alone.
But I think that there's a time limit because then you don't have self-esteem after a certain amount of time.
Yeah, and I feel like you don't put yourself in situations to be alone quite often.
Mm-hmm. Because you get so much value from doing things for other people, from all of those things that are involving other people, that I feel like you avoid being alone for that reason. Mm-hmm. I don't think that you don't enjoy being alone. I think that you just...
I think I fear being alone, or I fear not attending to other people's needs because I fear if I stop, that their love for me is going to stop.
Gonna end. Yeah.
So But I do feel that initial peace when I am alone at times. I'm like, like I can actually watch the show that I want to watch or not have to worry about anything, because if I choose a show and then I'm constantly worrying, like,
I can't.
Are you enjoying it?
I can't be on aux. I cannot be the music chooser.
I'm like, are you enjoying this or do you hate this? I just
torture.
I worry about
absolute torture. I had the same bullet statement about the not being able to be alone. And I don't think I am able to be alone for different reasons. I have to be busy all the time. Mm-hmm. So it's actually interesting that we both have that same bullet. But
I love being alone. Up a lot. Yeah, you love being alone. We'll get to that.
I love it.
Okay, there's one more thing.
Yes.
You're attentive to loved ones almost to a fault. Others may end up taking advantage of your kind and generous nature. And I feel that extremely with our dad. Mm-hmm. And it's been our whole life, but especially now with him being sick and like having to take care of him. I think he knows that I don't like when he's upset with me, and that if he gives me the silent treatment or something like that, that I'm going to be like, I'm going to do what he wants me to do. Yep. Like one example is right now, he has access to a credit card that I probably should take away from him, but
I do not know.
I am too afraid to upset him to do that. I don't want to take away any more of his autonomy.
I'll do it too.
But this whole thing happened where his Chase account was locked because he's doing sketchy stuff. Mm-hmm. And I got it unlocked. But I did ask him because they're like, well, we've had suspicious activity because someone's coming into the Chase branch and calling the Chase branch. And I asked him, I was like, have you called? And he said no. And then they said, well, this call came from this number and it was from him. And so I got it all figured out. But then after I told him, I was like, Dad, I need you to be honest with me because like I'm trying to balance your life, my life. And when you're dishonest with me, there's no way I can do it. It's stressful and I can't do it. And he like just shut down and was silent and wouldn't talk to me. When I left, I was like, okay, I love you. And he's like, okay. Like he didn't say it back or anything like that. And he just like, I feel like he knew what he was doing. And
he does.
I then went into like, I felt it. I went into a mode of like, what do I need to do? So he's not mad at me anymore. And he told me he'd been using his credit card because he also has a debit card that's loaded with money each month. And he doesn't have enough funds on it because he's trying to pay off the credit card that he's been buying things on. So it's just this cycle. So I was like, Dad, I'm just going to pay off your credit card. And then you won't have to use the money you're getting each month to pay off your credit card. And it should be enough. And he gets the money on his card on the 15th of each month. And it was like the 20th. And he's like, well, I'm out of money. And I was like, okay, next time I see you, like, I'll give you $50 cash to get you through the month. And so I saw him, we went to his doctor appointment, and he was still giving me, like, the silent treatment, but he's like, are we still going to go to the bank? And I was like, sure. So I went to the bank, and I was going to pull out $50, but you can only do it in 20s, so whatever. It was $60. So I gave him $60, and I handed it to him, and he just said nothing to me.
Mind you, this is the first we're hearing of this.
Yes, it is.
Well, that's why we are also kind of doing this. Because,
yes. Yeah. Okay, real quick, just for the listener, because we will have to do a backstory episode.
Yeah,
I think we have to.
We were talking about that.
We touched on it. Okay, our dad, he's sick. Okay, but also he was abusive and not great and absent and all of the things in our childhood. We are responsible for him now. Mm-hmm. It is an extremely nuanced and confusing and terrible, downright terrible situation that we're in. And so that is the root of this whole podcast, to be honest. We will get into it. We will have to do
We'll need to do a background episode.
But just to give a little bit of clarity on that. But that pisses me off, and I will go over there and get that credit card. I don't care.
Me too. I don't care because when I say bye, he doesn't
don't say nothing to me.
Yeah.
Also,
never.
He called me at 9:13 last night, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But
probably he's calling you because we're off right now.
Yep.
So
yeah. It frustrates me because I do think he knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. He is mentally disabled as well, so there is like things that we do have to consider, but I think in these scenarios like he does understand, and it's so hard to like take away your parents' autonomy, like that's a thing that every person will have to go through. Most people will have to go through throughout their lives.
At this age it's just
at this age it's
so early,
so
it's
early.
Too early.
It's challenging. Like it's happened even earlier for us. Like I remember I was in high school, you were in college. Dad should not have been driving. Mm-hmm. Like he wasn't physically able to do it, and yet he like took keys out of your hands, and that was a big thing. And he just has this way, specifically with you, and I'm so sorry, just like pushing those limits. Mm-hmm. And it frustrates me so much because there is a part of him that understands and knows it and manipulates it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's also a part of him that is sick and
so
disabled.
It's really hard to decipher.
Very hard to decipher. But we will have a dedicated episode.
Yeah, we need to probably do that. But okay, I know we've talked a lot about me finishing up. Wait, did you have something else you wanted to say?
No.
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious why I've developed the anxious attachment style. One, just Dad's abandonment and feeling like the constant need to be a certain person in order to get his attention and love. But I also think, like, mom as well, I struggled really, really hard with her getting remarried. And the part of the anxious attachment definition that kind of makes me think of, you know, how my relationship with mom probably also affected my attachment style. It was anxious attachment often develops when caregivers are inconsistent, sometimes loving and attentive, and sometimes distant. And I just remember being so hurt when I felt like her new boyfriend, fiance, eventually husband, eventually our stepdad, like, that he was taking precedent over me. It, like, upset me so much. And I think a part of it that was this yo-yo effect was our stepdad was a pilot, so he would be there sometimes and then be gone a lot of times. Loved those times.
But mom would code switch.
So mom's level of attention towards me flip-flopped. When he was gone, I felt like I was getting that love and attention that I wanted and needed. And then when he was there, I felt like I wasn't getting it. And it was just like that inconsistency and just
100%.
Once again feeling like I needed to do all of these things in order to, like, attract my mom's attention away from him in order to feel that love. But it's interesting because I didn't feel like anxiously attached in a lot of my relationships until this one. And I feel like my last relationship just, like, triggered all of that childhood stuff. I actually felt...
You let yourself feel safe.
I felt super safe in that relationship. And then I was just reminded that I wasn't.
Yeah.
And then it felt like it brought all of that childhood stuff up to the surface. And minor backstory is just the relationship ended in a super big blindside. And I felt super safe in that relationship. And then I was like, oh, wait, you're never safe. You're never safe ever. Unless you're doing everything that everyone else wants from you at all times.
Not even then. Sorry.
But, okay. That was a lot about me again, but now we're going to get to Kay.
Yes, let's unpack. What did you get? We guessed that you were avoidant.
So mine was the disorganized / fearful avoidant.
Okay.
So the same as G.
Yes, but yours had a different name.
They named mine anxious /
Yeah, that's why I was confused, because I was like, I know that they're different because I have it over here.
Okay, but, so I guess maybe
let's hear about it then.
Yeah. So the characteristics. You may exhibit an unpredictable pattern of behaviors. I don't agree with that. Okay, so you guys agree.
No,
I don't necessarily agree. I don't know. I guess it's hard. I'm the oldest sibling. I have expectations of, like, you as a baby.
It's not that I think it's it's not unpredictable in terms of, like, you have these, like, extreme behaviors. I just don't know ever what you're feeling.
You're the wild card.
Or what to expect.
Yeah, wild card for sure.
I never know if you're upset, if you're annoyed, if you're...
Yeah.
So that's, I think, the unpredictable component of it. I don't know how you're feeling, like, so much of the time.
I do agree that I have a hard time expressing my emotions. I guess I didn't really, like, correlate that being an unpredictable pattern. You know? Kind of view those as two separate things.
Unpredictable sounds super...
unhinged.
Yeah, and I wouldn't put that on you, but I think it's...
But I could not predict how you were feeling at any given moment, though.
Yeah, like, because you're just so guarded. Not because you're reacting in all of these crazy different ways. You're just not reacting a lot. So...
It's like you could be super mad in there.
Yeah.
We just don't know ever.
Happy. I don't know.
But yeah.
A little enigma over here. Sorry. Yeah, that is something that I wanted to talk about. I don't know. I've always had a hard time expressing my emotions. I remember at a very young age, like, just like mom, like, you don't cry. Like, her pointing that out to me.
And we all cry a lot, so it's also very just different.
Yeah. All three of us.
When I was in high school, I went through a period of, like, not crying, and it was a very traumatic 3 years. And then when Dad was in his car accident, there's a lot of lore for our family.
We're gonna do a background.
Well, our father got in a car accident. He was in the ICU for a long time. He died and then came back to life. and we walked in like right after they resuscitated him, and
you and I, right?
It was all of us. Sonia was there too.
I thought you were there when he was resuscitated.
No.
In the room.
No, we weren't.
Because we were, it happened at night, like we were sleeping, then we came in, they're like, we were just about to call you guys. Your dad died, but he's alive now. That's essentially what happened.
Like they were walking out of the room after basically resuscitating him.
And I remember everyone was like in a state of panic, and I like wasn't. And I just went and I held his hand. And then the nurse telling me, she was like, I can't believe like how calm you are right now. Like she would said it as like a compliment. She's like, that's amazing, like that you're being like sitting there and being able to be there for him. But I thought it was weird that I wasn't crying.
Did you feel like what emotions were you feeling in that moment? Anything?
I was like, he's here. This sounds so bad.
No, but I mean, I even feel it as okay. This is gonna be weird. Okay, so I'm a very extreme empath. It's exhausting. I feel like random strangers' feelings. And you are my breath of fresh freaking air.
Thank you.
Like, literally.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't have to worry about, like, feeling anything.
That sounds like I'm a psychopath.
No, but I know it sounds so bad.
No, it really does. Is it psychopath or sociopath that don't feel things? Because that's what I sound like.
No, you're not either of those things, but you are a breath of freaking fresh air. And I think in a house full of empaths, you did what you had to do.
You want to know the funny thing? Is every time I laugh, I cry.
That's funny. It's true, yeah.
Like, my eyes get so watery.
That's the only time you cry.
Yeah, earlier when you guys were both crying, I wasn't crying. And I was like, I feel so bad I'm not crying.
That close, I thought. I guess you were just edging us. But anyways.
God. What are the other characteristics?
Okay. You may fluctuate between the traits of anxious and avoidant attachment styles. Thus, depending on your situation, you may act clingy at times, which I don't think I do.
No, not clingy.
Towards a partner. So we don't know.
Oh, so
that's
don't
true.
know.
I was just about to say, this is difficult because
it was so hard for me to answer these questions. I've never been in a relationship.
Well, that's why I liked the second quiz, because it asked you about the
dad, yeah.
the questions in regard to your relationship with your mom, your dad, then a romantic partner. So.
Yeah.
But I am curious as to how you will be in a romantic relationship, because I think it's very different.
I think, like earlier you guys said, I'm very guarded. Like I put up a lot of walls. I think it's going to take a lot for me to like feel attached to a person.
But when you do, I think it's going to be extreme, though.
Mm-hmm. I just can't picture myself.
I know, it's so hard.
It's
also,
so
okay,
hard.
I know that I held my tongue last episode about, like, you not having lost your virginity yet, and then you, like, came out with it. But also, I think it's important to note, like, you've still never been kissed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, this is, like, a whole nother level. Like, no relationship, no kisses, no nothing.
Yeah, I'm like...
So it's really hard to know.
Mary Saint over here.
Just the Virgin Mary.
I'm the Virgin Mary.
God, you're a unicorn.
So
this
is probably a little bit more difficult for you too, because
I'm a unicorn.
There's no way of knowing how you will actually be when you feel that emotional attachment to another.
I read the next sentence.
What is
All right,
it?
but on other occasions, you may be dismissive or aloof.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, in some cases, you may end up feeling disassociated within your relationship.
Yes. Sometimes
do you feel that?
Mom panics because, like, she can feel you checking out, and she's like,
I feel so bad. I feel so bad. I just, like, I don't know. I have a hard time with relationships. I love Mom. I adore her.
I know you do. She's probably your favorite person on this entire planet.
Yeah. But I have a hard time with relationships.
I know.
I do disassociate a lot.
You do.
A lot.
So I think you're like mostly avoidant. Like you're avoidant of relationships.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But why?
I
know that's what we're trying to figure it out right
I
now.
don't know.
We unpacked a lot of stuff. We cried and everything.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
So are you?
I think it's so strange because like I do disassociate with like within our family relationships as well. Like I'm not very close with our extended family.
I know you're not.
Yeah.
And they're also very aware that I'm not close with them. Like there have been comments.
They feel like a wall is up, but they'll make comments about like you from when you were in like 6th grade, and I'm like,
you don't
where
even
have you
know
been?
hey now. Like
Yeah.
And sometimes like when our extended family comes, they're like so shocked by you because you're so different, but I just don't think they even
have taken like it's not even like I think they want to know you. I just don't think they know how.
and like also
even sometimes I'm like I'm so lucky she lets me know like her.
But I also feel like you were also very avoidant of even friendships growing up.
Yeah. 100%. I don't think I made a single friend in high school.
Yeah.
I struggled in middle school for a while to make friends, and then I made friends and it was like time to leave middle school. Even in my working relationships now, I feel like I'm not really like connecting with any of my coworkers. So, like there's one person my age, but like everyone's so close at my work, and I'm just like not. But it's
Do you crave those close relationships?
Sometimes, like not all the. I had this thought the other night. I was listening to a musical and doing like my skincare routine.
I love you.
I was like, thank God I'm alone right now. Like, I was like, I value it so much. Like, you and TJ were like getting ready to go to bed together. And I was like, I don't think I would like that. Like, I don't. Like, I was listening to like a very obscure musical. And I was like, this is weird. Like, what I'm doing right now is objectively.
No, but there might be someone.
That's
weird.
the thing. I almost feel like you think that you're weird or different, and so you don't put yourself out there, almost out of like fear of not being accepted. Does that hit home at all?
Not being accepted, but being understood. I think more so.
Yeah, like you don't care if they actually like like accept that you're there, but like they might just misunderstand it like entirely and not. Actually, tell me what the difference is.
Yeah.
I don't think I know.
You're so hard to understand.
I have a hard time articulating. I do. That's another thing I don't love about
I
myself.
felt like I was mansplaining.
Just that your older sister splaining to her.
Yeah, okay. I wouldn't want to listen. This is like such a specific example of listening to the musical while like getting ready for bed. But I wouldn't want to do that with someone unless like they wanted to do it too.
Because you're anxious.
Embraced it. But it's also just not as fun for that other person.
Yeah.
You know, like yes, it's anxious. I want that other person to also have fun, but I want to have fun with that person doing those weird quirky things that I like.
So you want to be that one emoji of the two girls skipping, like literally holding hands, like in sync, like at all times?
That's not going to happen, I promise.
No, not at all times, but
Kind of sounds like
kind of
that.
sounds like it, like when I say it like that.
But you know which emoji I'm talking about.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I do too. It's like the girls in like the black leotard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
I hyper fixated on this one example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just because I thought of it earlier when Gloria was talking.
So not everything has to be like that, but like specifically the things that really bring you the highest height of joy.
I just feel like you, and it's healthy, like you are happy and secure in the things that you like and you have. And at this point, you don't want to compromise those
Exactly.
things.
But who's to say that your partner's not in the other room being like, yes, like go off in there doing your thing over there, and I'm going to do my thing over here.
I think I fear because I don't want to say like I'm so independent, but like I do like my alone time and I like being by myself, that like it's almost too much independence, too much of wanting to be by myself for another person. Mm-hmm. I
feel
think
like, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. We have an aunt that I think is somewhat similar in that regard. But she found her person. But
they don't live together.
They don't live together. They don't.
Yeah. There's so many different ways you can have a relationship where you can find someone who probably has the same, need for that space. And
but in this economy, I can't afford to live alone.
Okay. But I mean, I think that my husband and I are not as wanting to be alone as you are.
Yeah.
But we do value our alone time so much so that we have literally designated spots in the house.
You also you don't like change. You don't like change. And I think that the thought of a new relationship and the fact that would bring some disruption and change to your routine, you're just like, I would rather not.
I would rather, quite literally, rather would not.
Okay. So we're talking about all of this in terms of romantic relationships, but like, what about in friendships and like relationships with us? Because that's what you have more experience with.
I'll start with friendships. All right. I also have a hard time just like connecting with people.
I think it applies to your friendships just as much as your romantic.
Yeah. I have a really hard time just like feeling connected to another person that's not you guys. I don't understand it. Like when I lived in my old apartment, right? There was around the time I was moving out,
you started that friend group.
But I never felt it felt off. Like I felt like there was something missing.
I forgot.
You know? I didn't feel like I belonged in that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It just felt forced almost, you know? And I feel like the last time I've made like a really genuine friendship is my childhood best friend, you know? And then I think of two people, one from theater, and we're still super close to this day. And then I think of, you know, my first childhood best friends. I don't know if I can say their name or not.
It's okay.
G. I'll just say G.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I recently saw her again, and it was nice, but it felt like, again, more of a disconnect, and I don't quite understand why.
Okay, I have to say something. I don't have to, but I have something to say.
Yeah.
So I have had friend groups throughout life, like in college, my multiple attempts at college, we don't have to get into it. And in the moment, it was like, yes, we're hanging out, we're vibing. But if I like saw one of them at the grocery store right now, I would literally go hide in like a different aisle. And like, they weren't forever people. So what? Like, so what? It didn't feel exactly like anything then either for me. But we were having fun. We were stealing random stuff off campus. It's fine.
But you said like you were having fun and all. Like I still felt
you would rather be alone than with those.
I'm wondering if like you're not letting yourself fully have fun because you're saying, well, I don't see this like going beyond X amount of time. That's what I'm curious about.
I don't know, maybe
the feeling that I have this feeling a lot too, where sometimes I'm hanging out with people. I'm like, I would literally just rather be alone right now.
Yeah, I mean, the whole reason I'm married to Sean is because I was hanging out with some people from school, and I was like, I actually hate hanging out with you guys, but those guys I met the other day were kind of cool. Let me go hit them up. Yeah. But sometimes I would hang out with people that I was just kind of meh about, and I would still have fun. But it wasn't like I didn't put this expectation that I had to be like homies for life.
You still had fun. Like, I struggle with that fun component.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I don't know. I think it is, like, I'm just very anxious all the time when I meet new people specifically. Because I want them to like me, like I think, like, most humans do. But then I'm like, I don't know if I even enjoy hanging out with this person, but I want them to like me. That's silly. And then I'm just like, I'd just rather be home.
You're just so self-aware.
I think that...
too much.
Yeah.
Well, I think that you talk a lot about having social anxiety, and... you're anxious in social situations and you can't have fun because you're so anxious about it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier.
Is that what you just said? Is that what?
No, sorry, I felt like you worded it differently.
Yeah,
like you were saying,
but I think that's part of the reason why you're not feeling like you want to socialize and have fun is because that anxiety is overtaking any ability to have fun.
Yeah.
So it's like working on that social anxiety component.
I do think my social anxiety has gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I will talk and, like, I have to have lunch with my coworkers. Like, we all have designated time at the same time where we have to eat in a specific room. It's weird phrase like that, but it's true. And, like, I'll talk and we'll hang out and I'll make jokes, but I'm just like, but I would rather be eating my lunch alone.
I think it's so hard for me because the Kay that I know is perfect in, like, every way. And, like, so funny and so on and, like, literally the funniest person I know.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And, like, just, I guess I'm just lucky that I get to know you. Because I can't fathom why you would ever
be anxious about who you
want
are.
to share who you are. Because I'm just so dang lucky.
But also a part of me is like, I feel like you're content
That's the thing. Like, I don't feel like you need to. Like,
I am content, but I do worry about, like, my long-term, like, relationships. I think I worry about, like, the older I get, having zero relationship experience is concerning. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm 24. Yeah.
You're so young.
I know, I'm so young, but
her experience level at 24 is
yeah.
That's abnormal at this point. It really is. And, like, I don't know, like,
there's just more pressure on
heavier every year that goes by.
It does. It's just, like, more pressure each year for something that I'm like, I don't even know if I really want. But because of society, I'm worried that if I don't do it, I'm going to be viewed as different, you know, because it is different. But I also don't want to do it unless I really want to.
Yeah.
But I just, like, I have to do it at some point at the same time.
I think it comes down to your fear of change, and you are content with where you're at right now, so it's like, why disrupt that?
Like, even, like, because your mind will open in different ways. Maybe you just, like, don't want it to yet.
Yeah. Like, I just, like, I don't know. I just was never, when I was living alone, I remember us talking, we're like, this is the time where you should be, like, going out and dating and experimenting. You're living alone. Like, that's the time you're supposed to do it. And I was like, I looked at you, I was like, I genuinely just don't want to do it. And I've always used things in my life as reasons why, right? I was like, well, it's like my first year teaching. It's a lot. It's a lot of pressure. I'm just trying to survive educating the youth of America. All right?
No big deal.
No big deal. And then a couple years went by where I, like, went on a couple of dates enough where it was like, okay, she's trying. We'll leave her alone.
You did do that, just the right amount.
Yeah, just the right amount where I would
played us right in our face,
off of my back, and then, you know, now I'm living with you and TJ, and so, it's not like I can't do all of those things, but, like, living alone was, like, kind of like the time where you normally would. I don't know where I was going with that, but I have so many more bullet points.
Oh, no, I want to hear.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, guys, this is the longest episode ever.
You may have a poor sense of self-agency. This can result in a difficulty to making decisions, feeling helpless, and not establishing life goals. I disagree with this one.
She just wants to say all the bullet points so she can say how much she disagrees.
I disagree with it.
I'm above all of this.
I disagree. I'm going back to school. You know, like, I am trying to grow. I go out and I do try to socialize with my volunteering.
Yeah,
like, I do try to be better and do better.
I agree with you.
But now it sticks with me now. The whole, like, doing just enough thing. It sticks with me now.
She does a lot, though, living with her.
I know you do a lot. Yeah. I know you do a lot. I'm not questioning that.
Much.
I'm talking about the specifically social aspect.
I go to work, and then I have to do school, and then on the weekends I volunteer, and then I come here, and it's a lot. That's another thing with the dating where I'm like, where do I fit this person in to my life? And I was thinking about this when I read, I think this bullet point was like, I always feel like I'm never in the right place to date in my life. I feel like I've always made excuses, but this time it's so true, guys. Wait, listen. Listen, okay? I am broke as fuck, so I can't afford dates.
No, that's the best time to go on
dates. I don't.
I'm pretty sure, okay, when I was in PA school, I was on a date, and, like, we were going to go to a psychic, and I literally was like, I don't know if this guy's going to pay for it, and I don't have enough money in my bank account. And I literally texted you to sell me money. Do you remember that?
No. I don't.
I did.
Fly on the wall.
It's not, okay.
And so also, I will sell you money to go on dates.
Also, time management. Time management is also another thing. I feel like I haven't worked out in, like, almost 2 weeks. I feel like I don't have any personal. I cannot keep waking up at 4:30 in the morning. It's so fucking hard. Well, when am I supposed to date this person? How am I, like, I feel like my love language is quality time. I don't have time to give quality time. I don't do words of affirmation. That's just not my style.
That's true.
So, like, I can't express love that way. I'm so sorry I don't compliment.
You can't buy things because you're broke.
I'm broke. What am I supposed to do? Acts of service?
Yeah, you do love gift giving, but you don't have money right now.
Don't have time for acts of service. So what am I giving this person I'm dating? I sound like a shitty partner.
It's you do have to give up. You'd have to give up, like, time that you spend with us.
I have a thought.
Things like that.
Maybe you need to be a shitty partner to find your right partner. Maybe you need to shut down and not be toxic. Maybe no. It's bad. The wording of it that sounds toxic. But
be a shitty partner.
No, I'm saying maybe you need to just, like, be able to accept whatever is coming to you for a second. I'm not saying you have to be shitty, but, like, maybe you need to have your guard down to where you're not, because you are such a, like you said, you're a gift giver. You not words, but you give, like, a lot of other ways.
I'm so sorry. You guys are so smart and beautiful.
It's okay.
And kind.
But all I'm saying is maybe that needs to shut down for a second. I'm telling you, people say all the time, like, oh, it comes when you least expect it. Like, maybe when you aren't the one, like, doling it out.
Yeah, and I think I have a theory that you might become anxiously attached like us once you start dating, because it's like you feel like you need to be a certain person before you can start dating in order to receive that love from someone. But there's also something, when me and my boyfriend started dating, I was
a hot mess.
I was a horrible...
Oh, sorry.
I was like, not a good person. I was not in a place to give any sort of love, and what was really, I think, healing for me is that he literally loved me despite that.
Yes, I was trying to say that, but I was doing a bad job.
You don't need to be a certain version of yourself before you're, and this goes against everything we just said about our anxiously attached selves, and we're speaking from our asses right now because we don't even
we're just trying
do
to
this
be
ourselves,
supportive.
but, like, you don't need to be a certain version of yourself before you are worthy of being loved.
I feel like it's the same misconception about, like, working out, right? Like, I have to look a certain way before I can even go to the gym to work out.
I think for a long time, the reason why I avoid dating was my body image.
Yeah, I hear you. But I think that you should just go out into the world as you are, and then realize that you are such a lovable person.
I don't even think you have to go out with the intention of dating. I think you just have to go out into the world. Go do the stuff you love to do.
And I do the stuff I love to do.
Yeah.
It just happens, like, it's just a bunch of old white men that also do that stuff.
Maybe that's your type. No, I'm just kidding. But I do want to circle back real quick, because I made that toxic comment earlier about, like, oh, you love me unconditionally. I just want to circle back for a second, because all I meant by that is you're kind of a hard ass sometimes. You put me in my place sometimes. And sometimes I stop pushing back a little just because I'm fearful of, like, pushing too far and then I'll lose you.
You'll never
lose me. Attached.
You'll never lose
sometimes me. I just need a little bit of affirmation. Like, sometimes I do need to kind of push you a little bit. I think it's my job sometimes to push you a little bit. And I think sometimes you shut that shit down. And it's not really fair to me either, because that's my love language too, is to kind of push you guys. And so I just needed a little bit.
My love language is to shut you down.
Yeah, okay, well, I just need to know that I can push a little bit.
No.
I still won't call you by that nickname that I'm not allowed to anymore.
I don't approve.
Okay, are there any other bullet points you want to talk about before we switch it up? Because I feel like we actually have
this is a long episode.
For a long time. Are you sure?
I think I'm good.
Are you sure?
Yeah, the bullet points we kind of already talked about down here.
Do you feel like you...
Do I feel seen and heard?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel seen and heard.
Okay. Well, you're gonna lead us into the next section.
Oh, yeah, that's me. All right, folks, it's time for our favorite segment here. Strangers on the internet being messier than we are. That's right. It's our Reddit story time, and today Sonia's going to be reading it.
Okay. Let me find it. Okay. This is in Am I the Asshole? So, am I the asshole for making my daughter leave because my husband is attracted to her? I, 55 female, have been married to my husband and my daughter's stepdad, 63 male, for 4 years. My 23-year-old daughter and I have a complicated relationship. She was diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder. She has a lot of trauma from watching me and my husband's horrible marriage go down and was bullied in school. She told me she was being bullied by peers. My view that all children are innocent really tied my hands because I told her that if I said anything to them, I would be an adult harassing a child. She has blamed me ever since and keeps referring to this one time where the kids at school called her trash due to the fact that she wasn't taking care of her hygiene due to depression. Not all, of my response was telling her to take a shower, and I bought her new clothes. The bullying finally ended with an expulsion and a suspension of the ringleaders. Oh, I thought they were going to say expulsion of her. Okay. She still throws the fact that a school clinic volunteer told her that if she was their kid, she'd have permission to punch back if an administrator did nothing. I thought that having her live with me while she finishes school and gets a job would help heal some childhood wounds if my second husband and I modeled a healthy relationship. However, my daughter now doesn't get along with my husband. She's a very introverted, creative person who likes immersing herself in escapism. So she'd get annoyed if she was sitting alone and my husband would sit across from her and eat, saying she ate later so she could eat alone. However, my husband started acting distant from me and my daughter complained that his eyes lingered for too long. She got very angry and there was a lot of shouting and slamming doors. Finally, my husband admitted he's attracted to her and it's hard to be around her daily. She said she was a walking temptation and said that's why he was avoiding sex with me. I was so upset to hear this. I don't blame my daughter for this, but all the time the situation has been... I was so upset to hear this. I don't blame my daughter for this, but at the same time, the situation has become unbearable. Something would have to give, and I couldn't collect my thoughts with both of them still being in the house. So I gave my daughter money to stay at an extended stay hotel, and I asked her to utilize her college's emergency financial and housing resources they have for students in need. She responded by storming out and telling my ex, who is now circling social media, using it to paint me as the villain of all villains. I'm not abandoning my daughter. She qualifies for those resources anyway, since my ex is unemployed and we are in substantial debt. I just need some time to process the situation and don't want to leave my house to stay with my daughter when I have a marriage to figure out whether or not to save. Am I the asshole?
Divorce him. Divorce him. He's a creepy perv.
Yeah.
What the hell?
How are you ever going to reconcile that marriage? 1.
Why would you want to? 2. That's insane. That is so crazy.
And I feel like it lends well to what we talked about because it's just... I don't know, the daughter's an adult, but I mean, I'm sure it's not this random new occurrence that her mom is choosing her partner or someone else's needs over her daughter's. And I'm sure this daughter's going to be anxiously attached in the future.
Mm-hmm. She's going to be so uncertain because
she's going to be searching for a safe haven.
Why would you not kick your husband out?
He's a weirdo.
The fact she was like, I don't blame my daughter for this. Well, duh. Why the fuck would you?
Why is that even something
that doesn't need to be said?
Why?
And why did you not kick your husband out?
Why aren't you disgusted by him?
I have to send my daughter away so that I can figure out if this is worth saving.
It's not worth saving. And 2, like, even if you, in your crazy mind, wanted to try to work it out with your husband, do not kick your daughter out. I mean, I know she's an adult, but, like, 23, still trying to figure things out. Like, kick the grown-ass man out.
Figure things out from afar. You're going to figure things out a lot better if he's not around you.
She's going to have sex with this man again. That's wild to me.
Yeah.
Knowing that he's attracted to her daughter.
Like, that's a no take backsies type of situation.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. Like, how could you ever overcome that and be in a relationship with that man?
He would gross me out.
What?
People get so weirded out by the ick concept, but I think it's done us a great service. I think more people should get icked out.
I feel like I get icked too much.
Yeah, I think there's a happy medium.
Most people give me
but some people could use
that
more
is like far past the ick.
Yes, like that's like so beyond.
I'm ill. Like I need to throw up. That's past the ick.
I'm ill.
Yeah. But
that was great.
I mean, that one's a pretty like cut and dry. Yes, the mom is the asshole, but I thought it was just a prime example, I think, of and romantic relationships are so hard.
So complicated. You get a different version of them. It's so weird, but I just can't fathom my partner telling me they're attracted to my child and me being able to just be like, let's work it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I don't think any amount of therapy would
mend that or fix that.
And the age gap between the mom and the guy isn't that much, but it is still quite significant. I want to say it was like a decade. It was like
43 or something.
60 something. No, he was like 63.
Wait.
Oh yeah, 55 the mom's 55 and the stepdad's 63.
So it's not a huge age gap, but still substantial. And then you want to add in the fact that he's attracted to...
He's been the stepdad for 4 years. She's 23.
Uh-oh.
No.
So if we want to do that math... Wait, that's 19.
That's still a teenager.
That's 19. So I guess she was 18, but...
18 or 19?
She was above 18, I guess, because 4 years, she's 23.
That sounds like a technicality.
Teenager.
Yeah, I mean, it's all... It's disgusting. So
I like how I couldn't do simple math just then. I was too overwhelmed by my ick to do simple math.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Is there anything else that you guys want to say before we wrap up? I think that was a really good episode.
Pretty much it.
Yeah.
Probably very long. Hopefully you guys stuck around.
Bear with us.
Once again, just a disclaimer, we are definitely not professionals. Just 3 sisters with big feelings, a decent camera, and daddy issues. So I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah, and if you enjoyed hanging out with us, please follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Daddy Issues Pod and on YouTube at The Daddy Issues Podcast. And please share our podcast with your emotionally repressed friend or dad.
Heck yes. And I feel personally attacked by my survey. I'm all talked out. And on that,
we'll see you next time.
Guys.